10 Huge EastEnders spoilers for next week from Monday 6 May 2024 to Thursday 9 May 2024. What's coming up in Walford? 1. Patrick worries about Yolande. Patrick is worried about Yolande, especially after Sonia lets slip that she missed a medical appointment he didn't know about. Denise also grows concerned when Yolande doesn't turn up at the launch of the food van and suggests to Patrick that Pastor Clayton might be able to talk to her. Patrick takes Denise's advice and confides in Pastor Clayton, who implies that Yolande could be unwell. During a heart-to-heart, Patrick tells Yolande about Pastor Clayton's concerns, leaving Yolande furious. 2. Billy loses his temper. Honey tries to persuade Billy to give Stevie a chance, but he's adamant that his dad is not allowed near their family. Stevie later bumps into Lexi, Will and Janet and tries to get to know them all better over lunch. Billy is furious when he hears about this, but Honey insists the children have a right to get to know their granddad. As Billy continues to refuse Honey's pleas to let the family see Stevie, Billy flies off the handle when he sees Will with his granddad at the cafe. The situation almost turns violent, leaving Billy horrified that he's turning into his father. 3. George gets devastating news. George is devastated when Gina and Anna break the news that Eddie held Gloria's funeral without telling him. Struggling, George contacts Rufus to arrange a fight. Wanting to support their dad, Gina and Anna come up with the idea of holding a memorial for Gloria in the Vic to help George grieve. Anna leaves a message for their half-brother Junior to join them. 4. Patrick learns the truth. Yolande can't bring herself to tell Patrick the truth about Pastor Clayton, and so when Elaine rings to check on her, she asks her friend to do it instead. Over the phone, Elaine gently explains what's happened to a distraught Patrick. In a special two-hander episode, Patrick will try and process the news, attempting to talk to Yolande, who locks herself in the bathroom. However, when Patrick's anger kicks in, he heads to confront Pastor Clayton, and Yolande rushes to stop him. 5. Yolande makes a brave decision. As they return inside, Patrick and Yolande begin to discuss what Yolande has been through. Yolande eventually agrees to report Pastor Clayton to the church officials. Patrick wants to go with Yolande to do this, but she insists on going alone. Yolande later tells Levi about Pastor Clayton sexually assaulting her. He commends her bravery and promises to start investigating her complaint right away. 6. George gets a worrying diagnosis. On the day of Gloria's memorial, George is nursing bad injuries from his fight the night before. Gina and Anna are disappointed when Junior is a no-show, but things get worse when George becomes dizzy and almost collapses. Realizing what's happening, Cindy and Phil insist George goes to the hospital, where he has a scan. George is later shocked to discover he's got a brain condition linked to repeated blows to the head and that one bad knock could kill him. Elaine and the girls are furious to discover he has been fighting, and that Cindy knew all about it. 7. Billy confronts Stevie. Phil advises Billy to keep Stevie close and find out what he's really after. Against his better judgment, Billy meets Stevie for a drink and demands to know what his dad really wants. Stevie insists he's a lonely old man who just wants to get to know his family, leaving Billy with food for thought. When Honey, Will and Janet arrive home, they are surprised to find Billy has invited Stevie over. 8. Amy is upset over Denzel's plans. Denzel arranges to train with an influencer called Ebony. Amy is less than impressed to hear about Denzel's collab with influencer Ebony. 9. Cindy gives George an ultimatum. In the wake of George's diagnosis, Cindy sees him get approached by Rufus, who hands out last night's cash and the offer of another fight. Cindy has other problems to contend with as Gina and Anna aren't speaking to her due to the fact she kept George's boxing secret. They do eventually agree to meet her for lunch, where Cindy promises to convince George not to fight again. George initially rejects Cindy's suggestion of online therapy to help him cope with his overwhelming emotions, but she talks him around. However, once alone, George rings Rufus to arrange a fight next week, prompting Cindy to give him an ultimatum. 10. Patrick struggles with his emotions. Patrick isn't happy to hear that Levi has scheduled a meeting with his superiors for the following week, frustrated that the process is so slow. He collars Levi in the cafe and tells him to move things along or he'll take the matter into his own hands. When Patrick sees Pastor Clayton posturing at the community center, he furiously confronts him, but Yolande begs him to stop.
Bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của OK Spoiler. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn video tiếp theo.